Hey, fellow coach. So, whenever I speak with a client about the difference between normal coaching and transformational coaching, I use this picture. And so I thought maybe it's helpful to share it with you so that you can use it as well. Because not everyone is clear on what the difference is. Normal coaching is things like, well, I help my client with setting goals, developing action plans, and then hold them accountable towards achieving those goals, or helping them with developing an exercise regime and then actually, uh, you know, taking actions towards those exercise health goals. Transformational coaching is something different. It's about, well, somebody who is in a place in their life where they're, let's say, structurally unhappy. They feel anxious. They feel perhaps a little bit depressed. They feel stuck. They're not happy with their overall status of their life. They have these little voices in their head that are very confusing. They're telling them what to do or what not to do, and they feel stuck, and they're frustrated and angry and anxious. And they rather go to a different place where they feel lighter, they feel happy, they feel generally more fulfilled with life as a whole, but they don't know how to get there. So I like to use this picture, which is really helping them to see what's going on and how they can actually improve their life situation. So imagine this position here where the person is not happy, and then this is where they want to go. And then I like to kind of draw this kind of imaginary river where the idea is that the person crosses the river to go to a whole different situation in their life. And now, what's happening, as we all know, that if somebody wants to improve their life situation, whether it's a very simple thing or it's more complicated, there's three things they need. They need to be aware of their current situation, of their current behavioral patterns, and how they are not helping them to actually make improvements, how they are creating and sustaining their current life situation. So awareness is number one. Number two is responsibility. They need to take responsibility for their life situation. Understand that, well, where they are today is actually the result of decisions they've made in the past, actions they have taken or not taken, so that, well, they can take responsibility for changing those decisions, those behaviors, those actions in order to get them to a different place. So they need to take responsibility for the situation and for the actions they need to take. And then number three, they need to actually take action. Now, it struck me over the past years in working with clients that I come across people who actually know exactly what's going on, what's not working, and what the behavioral patterns are that keep them stuck in a current life situation. And they also know what they need to do differently. And they feel responsibility for it, yet they are not taking the actions they need to be taking. And that's intriguing. So why are people not doing the things they know they need to be doing in order to improve their life situation? Why is that? Well, I think there's a clear explanation for that, and that is that they have often unconsciously adopted coping strategies, coping mechanisms to actually ease the pain, to temporarily relieve them from suffering, from this this anxiety, this frustration, this depression. But the problem with those coping strategies is that while they temporarily relieve pain and suffering, they keep them more structurally in their misery. So over time, they discover that this is not working, which makes them even more depressed. So they feel stuck. And now, what are those coping strategies? Well, they fall into four broad categories, and they all start with a D, which makes it easier to remember. So the first broad category of coping mechanisms is called distraction. So in the category of distractions, well, there's many different forms. There is excessive TV, gaming, binge watching Netflix, what have you. There is things like excess sports and exercise, sex, uh, substance abuse, drugs, other substances, but also, let's say, buying stuff, cars, houses, clothes, gadgets, whatever it is that helps you distract from the real problem. It's also overworking. It's like being a workaholic, being engaged into busy work, busy, 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 always working, 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 without actually making much structural progress. So that's distraction. And we all know that, right? Then the second category is actually delay. It's delaying action uh, due often to perfectionism. It's procrastinating on the things that we know we need to be doing. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tonight. Let me first do this, or let me first get fully organized before I can focus on the things I really need to be doing. It's having these excuses to delay the real things that will help us to make significant progress and cross the river, right? And it's also this fear of failure, of being criticized, of being laughed at or ridiculed or judged by others, friends, family, loved ones, for trying. So we'd rather not try. We'd rather think about the perfect action than just take action and then correct and correct. That's the second category. The third category is doubt, and especially self-doubt. Do I actually know what I need to be doing? Am I able to do it? And then we get to personalize it. We get to identify with it, and we may say, I've tried so many different things. Maybe I am not good enough. Maybe I'm not worth it. Maybe I'm not working hard enough. Maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I'm too young. Maybe I'm not smart enough, or maybe I'm too smart. Maybe I'm not attractive enough. Maybe I'm not tough enough. And those are the category of coping mechanisms that are also very powerful. But the thing is, they stop us from taking the right action. Why? Because even though we know what we need to do, we are self sabotaging because somehow we feel that we are not deserving this place here, this position where we are more happy, content, satisfied with life. And then the fourth category can be summarized as denial. So denial is this category where we actually give up. We say, maybe it's not that big a deal. Or maybe it's egotistical. Maybe I'm self-centered. If I am pursuing a bigger, better, beautiful, more meaningful future, because in fact it's not that bad. The situation that I'm in right now is not that bad after all. And then we start comparing ourselves with others who are in an even less fortunate situation than we are, or so we think. And then we say, let's settle for good instead of going for great. And that's sad because when asked, older people on their deathbed or when they are uh, approaching old age, well, what would be one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self or to the younger generations? They will say, well, just be happy now, spend a lot of time with your loved ones and good friends, and pursue your dream. If you have a calling, it means somebody is calling. Just go for it, do it, pursue your dream. There's no guarantee you will be successful, but at least you don't have to regret that you never tried. And I'm a strong believer that life energy, the universe, creative force, the divine creator, whatever you call it or him or her, we are here on this planet in this very short span of our lifetime to actually realize our full potential, right? There's no point in holding ourselves back. But if we look at research, it says that more than 60% of people, when asked, say that they feel they are not developing their full potential. They're not expressing their full potential. And the reasons for that are often to be found in these four categories of coping strategies. And that's really sad. So if this is where your client is right now, where would he like to be instead? Well, you want your client to really feel free. Free to fully express himself, but most importantly, free in your head to find peace, inner peace and calm, and to be able to relax, to be able to be silent, to enjoy life, to feel happy, to feel whole, to feel complete, to feel okay. And so instead of coming from a place of lack, go to a place, a feeling of abundance. And just look in nature, look around us. We see how nature fully expresses itself. There's room for diversity. There is no competition, there's no striving. A flower just blooms, a tree just grows and develops itself and finds its way towards the light. The idea of lack is not a natural concept. It's a man-made idea. I think that we are born, we are made to be abundant, right? To be able to continue to grow for the rest of our life. And that's what we wish for our clients, right? This side of the river, the client is driven by fear. And fear restricts us. It gets us into the fight-flight mode of operation instead of freeing ourselves and fully growing. So instead of fear, we should go to a place of love as our key driver. So what is then your role as a coach? In fact, you are the bridge that gets your client from where he or she is towards where he or she wants to be. That's a transformation that you bring, that you help your client. You are helping them across the bridge in a way that feels possible for them. You show them what's possible, you take them step by step by step across the bridge. That's your role as a coach, and that's transformational coaching. And that's one of the most beautiful things we can do in life. So I hope you find this meaningful. If so, let me know. And there's some other things that I want to share with you, but I'll do that later. So thanks for watching. Happy coaching. Bye for now.